Hi, this is Adrian, and this is grade time 4, unit 8. And we've been talking about crime in this unit, okay? And the grammar topic of this unit is the reported speech. What is the reported speech? Is when we want to report what another person said to someone. Imagine that my sister said, "Oh, I don't want to go to the party with you, Adriano." And then I'm going to say this to mom. Mom, my sister said she doesn't want to go to the party with me, or that she didn't want to go to the party with me. Okay? So, as we have seen, the verb changes sometimes, but also we use other verbs to report. We use she said, she told me, she added, etc. But these are not the only verbs that we use to report things to another person. We can use a variety of other verbs, okay? So in this vocabulary on page 79, we're going to see some other verbs that we can use to report what someone else said, okay? And these are called reporting verbs, okay? Let's see this story. Remember the story that you read about getting creative with crime? That was an experiment carried out at Newcastle University. Because they put a poster on the wall, yes, with eyes, big watchful eyes, and that was efficient. That was an efficient way of stopping people from stealing bikes, because they felt probably intimidated by those watchful eyes up on the wall on that poster. Okay, so and here we have, if you want to persuade thieves not to act, make them feel they're being watched. So it was a persuasion. And here the verb is to persuade. So this is a reporting verb. Another reporting verb could be this one, explained. For example, the researchers explained that at racks with posters, the number of thefts decreased by 62% compared with the previous year. So they explained. So what were their direct words? I don't know. Maybe they were talking about this, but when we reported about what they said, we can use the verb explain. Experts claim that clearly visible images of eyes make people feel they are being watched. So they claim, like they say that this is true. So it's another way to report what the experts said, is instead of using the word experts said, I can use the word experts claim. So it's an alternative. It's another reporting verb. Now, officials have agreed to carry out similar projects. So here it's another reporting verb. Agree. Instead of saying now officials have said, I can use another verb, agreed. Another one, in the city of Leicester, police are inviting people to make large woolly balls and hang them up in trees around the area. So here is another verb, to invite, to report what police said to these people. And then here we want to encourage people to take more pride in where they live. And here, instead of saying we want to tell people, we can use another verb, to encourage, which is also a reporting verb. And finally we have, not all residents are happy, however. Many refuse to believe it will make any difference. That's another one. Instead of saying many told the police, or many residents said that they don't believe, we can use the verb refuse to believe. And they're complaining that the police don't do enough to reduce trouble in the area. So it's another reporting verb, complaining. What do I want you to do now? I want you to, let's see here, to go to, so all of them were taken from this text here. and I want you to go to this reporting verbs, complete the sentence with the correct forms of the verbs, then check your answers in the article on page 78. So all of these sentences here were taken from the article that we have just seen, okay? So use those verbs here to complete. Go to the article and find them. I'll give you some time for you to do it. Pause the video now. Okay, here we are again, and let's check your answers. So the first one, if you want to persuade thieves not to act, make them feel they're being watched. Okay, so persuade, according to the text, page 78. The researchers explained that the number of thefts decreased by 62%. So the verb here is explained, and then you have to write it on in the past, okay? Experts claim that clearly visible images of eyes make people feel they're being watched. So claim. Now, officials have agreed to carry out similar projects at train stations. They have agreed. So here you have to use the participle. Police are inviting people to make large woolly balls. So the verb invite, inviting. We want to encourage people to take more pride in where they live. So to encourage. Many refuse to believe it will make any difference. So refuse according to the text. And number 8, they're complaining that the police don't do enough to reduce trouble in the area. So these are the verbs, okay? Now, what are you supposed to do now? We are going to go deeper into the meaning of those verbs. So we're going to do this activity here. Activity number 2. Match the verbs with the definitions. So we have agree, claim, explain, encourage, persuade, and refuse. And here we have the definitions, okay? So now pause the video and try to do it. Okay, so now let's check activity number 2. So agree. Agree is letter C. Accept an idea or a suggestion. If you agree, you accept. Oh, I agree with you. You're accepting the idea. Number 2, claim. This is letter F. Say that something is true. Experts claim that the number of thefts has reduced. So they are saying that this is true. They're claiming. Okay? Explain. Make something clear. If I explain something to you, I'm trying to make things clear so that you can understand. Okay? Here. Encourage, letter E. Give positive feedback or support for something. Okay, so this is to encourage. Oh, I want you to do that. Go there and do it. All right? Persuade, letter B. Try to get someone to do or believe something. So probably the person doesn't believe or doesn't want to do that. You want to persuade, make up this person's mind so that the person is going to do it or believe something. And finally, refuse, letter D. D, say no. This is to refuse. The opposite of refuse is to accept. All right? Now, so far so good. Oops. Let's move on to the rule. Okay, so we have this rule here. We have complete the rule with the reporting verbs from exercises 1 and 2. So what is the rule? So we use different structures. Let's put it over here. We use different structures with different reporting verbs. For example, if we have the verb not to plus another verb, we use with agree, with offer, and with, so we have to choose here. Which verb here? Look here so that you can have an idea, right? The verb plus an object plus not to plus another verb. The examples are ask, ask someone, tell someone, etc. So here we have 3 more verbs. Number 3, the verb plus that and plus another clause, another sentence, okay? We have say, claim, and 2 other verbs. And number 4, the verb plus a gerund, ing, apologize for, and suggest. So now your job is to pause the video, analyze here those verbs, these verbs here, and complete with the rule, okay? Okay, so that was not easy, right? But let's check. So the verb plus not to plus verb, agree, offer, and refuse. For example, I refuse to go to the party. Okay, I refuse not to give him the money. So refuse, then not to, or to, plus the verb. I offer to give you a ride. Okay, something like that. Number 2, the verb, the object, plus not or to, plus the verb. Ask, tell, invite. I invited him to go to the party. Invited him, this is the object, to, another verb, to go to the party. I want to encourage her to travel. Encourage someone to do something. The same with persuade. She is trying to persuade me to go with her to the party. To persuade someone to do something, okay? Number 3, verb plus that and plus a clause. For example, I explained that I didn't want to go to the party. So explain that and another clause. She recommended that I went to the party. Recommend that, another clause, that I went to the party. Verb plus gerund. I apologize for being late, for example. I suggest going to the party. So, and a verb and the gerund. Okay? So these are the patterns for these verbs. We still have 2 more activities to go, okay? So let's take a look at this activity here. Complete the sentences with the correct forms of the verbs and any other necessary words. Louis agree, so you have to come here and see. Agree is the verb, not to or to, and the verb. For example, we can say that Louis agreed to meet me at 9 o'clock. Agreed to, okay? Lucy apologized for, apologize is gerund, ing. So, Lucy apologized for forgetting my birthday. Did you get the idea? So you have to look at the verbs here, go to the rule, and see how you can do it with verb not to, verb the object, that, or ing. So pause the video now, and we'll be right back to correct it. Okay, so let's correct. How did you find it? Difficult? Let's try. So Louis agreed to meet me at 9 o'clock. So agree to do something. Okay. Number 2, Lucy apologized for forgetting my birthday. So apologize for something, for doing something. Okay. Jack refused to help us. So refuse to do something. So refuse to help. Bobby persuaded someone, an object, to do something. So persuaded me to go to the party with him. Persuaded me to go to the party with him. Dad suggested, after suggested and after apologized for, ing, gerund. So Dad suggested going to a restaurant for dinner. Suggested going, not to go, okay? My mom encouraged me to do something, to enter the singing contest. So encourage someone, the object, to do something. Mr. Jones complained that the movie wasn't as good as the book. So complain that. That plus a clause. The movie wasn't as good as the book. And finally, number 8, Martha offered to give me, to drive me home after the game. Offered to do something. Okay? So with time, as you get more familiar with those patterns, it comes naturally and automatically. Okay? So don't worry about it. Okay? So it's just a matter of, oh, does it sound good? It's going to happen in the future. And finally, let's go to activity number 5. Activity number 5 is change the sentences to reported speech. Use suitable reporting verbs. Sometimes more than one verb is possible. In this case here, you need an extra piece of paper for you to do, okay? Because the space here is not enough if you have your book with you. Okay, so find a notebook. Let me give you an example. This is in the direct speech, and you have to change to reported speech. For example, we forgot to inform you. We are really sorry, they said. So, when you say we are really sorry, what are they doing here? They're apologizing. So we can say that they are apologizing for what? For not informing us. Have to change the sentence, yeah? So you have to understand. So we are really sorry. What is really sorry? This is, they want to apologize for us. So the correct one would be, let me see here. Oops. Would be, we forgot to inform you. We are really sorry, they said. So, reported speech. They apologized for forgetting to inform us. So they are apologizing for forgetting to inform us. Or for not informing us. That's another way. So pause the video and do this. That's a challenge. This is the most difficult one so far. Okay, we are back to correct the other ones. All right. So let's see here. We have direct speech. We are going to introduce a new system to reduce crime, the mayor said. So what is the reported speech here? The reported speech. We are going to introduce what verb we can use. So we can use explained, said, claimed. You can say that the mayor explained, or the mayor said, or the mayor claimed that they were going to introduce a new system to reduce crime. So we is substituted by they, and we are goes to the past. They were going to introduce a new system to reduce crime. Okay? Next one. Can you give us more information about the plan? The reporter asked the official. So what is the reported speech here? So the reporter invited or asked the official to give them, because can you give us, when you're reporting you say, ask the official to give them more information about the plan. Okay? So you have to make these changes. To give us, to give them. Alright? If you work for us, you will be very rich soon, the man said. So the man claimed, or the man told me, the man said that if I worked for them, because the man said, if you work for us, So I am reported. If I worked for them, I would be very rich soon. So we have to change will, or you, I change by I. I substitute for I. And will becomes would. So I would be very rich soon. Okay? I don't want to buy the watch because it's too expensive, the woman said. So what is the reported speech here? So the woman refused because she doesn't want to buy it. So the woman refused to buy the watch because it was too expensive. It is becomes it was, goes to the past. Or another way is the woman explained that she didn't want to buy the watch, so it goes to the past, because it was too expensive. So you have to make all those changes in the reported speech. All right? Direct speech. Study the text carefully, the teacher said to the class. This is an order. This is an imperative. Okay, so the teacher encouraged or told us, the class, to study the text carefully. Because this, when it's an order, an imperative, I have to use the verb plus to. So the teacher told us to study the text carefully, or encouraged us. I can help you with your work, the man said. So the man offered something to us, right? So we can say the man offered to help me with my homework. Because what did the man say? I can help you with your work. So the man offered me to help me with my work. So I have to change me and my here. Okay? Oh, all right. I'll go to the movies with you, but only if you pay, Jack said to Olivia. So how can I say the reported speech? So you can use the verb agree here. Instead of saying Jack said, I can say Jack agreed to go to the movies with Olivia, but only if she paid. So you changes into she, and pay goes to the past. So there are lots of details here. The verb that you have to use, we have to change sometimes you by I, she, ye, my, you. So we have to change in order to report what the other person said, okay? I hope that was clear. You have other activities on your workbook, page 74, okay? So that you can do more and more until you get very good at this, okay? So I hope you found it useful, and this is the end of Unit 8, Grade Time 4. See you in the next unit, okay? Bye-bye.